In this video, we're going to have a quick look at sharing content in OneDrive and just getting you started with using OneDrive. So OneDrive is an application, it's part of the Microsoft 365 suite of applications, and it's an online storage space that's encrypted and available for you to store your content and also to share your content with other people. It's linked to all of the other applications, so it's linked to Teams and SharePoint and everything like that. So everything is grouped together. So it's really easy to use and really easy to work with. And if you do a lot of sharing content through emails or use a lot of drives, this is really going to help you going forward to be able to access your content on all of your devices, no matter where you are, and share and take away those sharing privileges really, really easy. So in here, I'm just going to talk you quickly through the screen and we'll get started sharing our first piece of content so you can see that process. So I'm in the online version of OneDrive. You might also be able to access OneDrive from your File Explorer. So clicking on the yellow icon at the bottom of the screen to open up your File Explorer where you would have a look at documents and downloads and all of your drives. You may be able to see it there. But there are limitations sometimes to going into the File Explorer view. And the functionality in the online version, which is the one I'm in, is going to give you a lot better of an experience really with OneDrive. And you can always access this no matter what Microsoft application you're in by clicking on those 9 dots in the top left hand corner and selecting OneDrive, and it's the blue cloud that you're looking for. And when you're in here, you'll see you've got any files or folders that you have already in OneDrive. And don't worry if it's the first time you've gone in, you may have some things in there that you didn't realise that were already in OneDrive. And that's because, like I said, it's linked to Teams, it's linked to other Microsoft applications. So my chat files, my Microsoft Teams chat files, have automatically saved in OneDrive. So I can always access them. So there may be some things in there you think, where did that come from? In the middle there, so I've got all of my content. Just on the left hand side here, I've got files I'm currently looking in. I can have a look at my recent files. And I can also have a look at my shared files as well. So if anything's been shared with me, I can see it in there. And at the top, I can see shared by me as well. So I might not have anything. I have one thing at the moment shared in there. And I've got my recycle bin in case I accidentally delete something. I can restore it and I can bring it back. So I'm just going to pop back to my file so I can see the content. These shared libraries here are the SharePoint libraries linked to the Teams that I have access to in Microsoft Teams. Across the top here, I've got a few options, and that's going to change when I click on one of my files or documents. And then just in the right hand side, I've got my account, my settings, using the cog and anything else. One of the most common settings you might need to change if it's been set in error is your time zone. So you might need to come into settings and change your time zone if that's been set in error. And it's just by clicking on the cog in there. So I've got some sorting options, but I've only got a couple of bits of content here, so I don't need to use those at the moment. And I'm just going to click on this book. And you'll see at the top there, if you've noticed, I've now got a couple of other options. So I can change, I can download, I can delete, I can rename, and I've even got 3 dots with more options in there as well, including version history, which is a really, really great one. So previously, years ago, when we've worked with drives, we've had to maybe save multiple versions of a document with changes. So we can refer back to previous ones in case anyone had any questions. And then if you had a file corrupted that you hadn't saved, you might need to speak to IT and get them to revert it back to the time when they took a snapshot of the drive, which is quite timely and you might lose quite a lot of information. So the version history then is going to really help you with that. And I think I'll probably do some more videos specifically on version history going forward. This is just useful to get you started. That's going to save a version of every time a document's changed once it's been uploaded to OneDrive. So it's going to save you a lot of hassle and a lot of heartache. But once I've clicked on this, I've also got 3 dots in the middle. If I click on the 3 dots, you can see I've got all of those usual options again. And if you use SharePoint, it's really, really similar. The screens look really similar there. And the one I'm looking for, wherever I am, is Share. You'll notice Share is at the top as well. Or I can click on the Share here. It's up to me which one I want to use. They both do exactly the same thing. So when I click on Share, I can now decide who I want to share this with. And I may have a couple of different options. Now you may have different ones dependent on the way that your company set it up. But I can go for anyone with the link, people in my business, people with existing access, or specific people. And then I can allow editing or not. I can even set an expiration, a date when it's going to stop sharing, and a password if I wanted to. And I can also block downloads. So I've got loads of really good controls. I don't need to put a password on the file and then forget it and totally break the Excel. I can set it within here, my sharing options, which means I can do different options for different people. So I've really got a lot of control here that I wouldn't have if I was sharing my content in any other way. I'm going to click on cancel there. And what I'm just going to do is type the person's name in. So Daniel's popped up, and I can keep typing as many in, or I can pop the email address in if it's external. And I can send Daniel a message as well, so letting him know about the document and what I want him to do with it. And then I just click on send. And what will happen then is Daniel will receive an email, and I'll have that email in my Outlook, in my sent items. So I didn't need to go into Outlook at any point. I didn't need to attach any documents. So I wouldn't need to send and create multiple versions of the same document and get different versions back from different people, or even worse, track changes, which drive me crazy. I don't know about anyone else. I'm just sending a link to that document so that me and him can just really work on that content together. And once I'm happy and it's all done, I can go in and I can take away those privileges. So if I click on send, that email will go. But if I just want to send him a link, maybe in a Teams chat or in an email or a Skype conversation or on some sort of online portal, I can copy the link then and just send that, and he can still access the document in the same way. And I can still take away the privileges of that link to take back control of my document. So I'm just going to click on send and just send that. And now we can work on that content together. So go into OneDrive if you haven't already. Have a look around it and start to think about adding content in there, and then how you can use the version history, the sharing options to really help you to keep control of your content but share it in a much easier way. We've all had those PowerPoints on email being shared with us, or we've all tried to share PowerPoints with other people that have broken our email, that haven't even got out of our outbox because they've been that big. We've had to try and take images out, PDF them, and it's just been super painful. This is going to save all that. You're just sharing a link or a quick email that's already been formatted. So have a go and see what you can do.